that we are going to discuss throughout this part, like deadlock, what is deadlock, what are the reasons because of which deadlock may occur, and what are the ways to handle it. Okay, we'll go through this one by one. So just to understand the concept of deadlock, I'd like to give an example of traffic signal, because this is very well aware example. You may have faced some situation. Suppose you are at traffic signal and this is the situation. So there are four lanes. If you look at the diagram, A, B, C, D, that shows the path. And then there are four cars, car 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So if proper signal is working, then everybody will be able to move properly, right? After some time span, but everybody will be able to travel. But what if signal down goes down, sorry, and you'll reach to the situation. Look at the second diagram in current slide. So all four cars stuck together. Nobody will be able to move. Assume every car is having further cars behind them. Right now in this diagram it's not visible, but just assume there are additional cars. Okay, let me take a pen so I'll be able to show. Suppose here are some cars behind this. Here also some car behind this. Same situation at other cases. So nobody will be able to go back. Nobody will be able to move further. So this is what the situation of deadlock. No work will be in progress. Nobody will be able to travel. And then just to come out of the deadlock, we need a traffic police. They'll handle it in some way. And we will, after some 1 hour, let's say after 15 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours, we'll be able to move. It happens. 4 year back, I was stuck in a traffic for 6 hours. I was at one place in a traffic for 6 hours in a Satara, if you know the place that flowers are there, the cast statues plateau, I guess. So there I was stuck for 6 hours. So this is the situation. So we call it deadlock. So I hope everybody understood what is the deadlock. And these kind of situations may occur in our machines also. You are using multi-tasking or multi-programming systems, right? So multiple programs are running simultaneously and they may need a resources. They may wait for each other and they may reach to a situation like this given in the second diagram. No one will be able to progress and this situation is called as deadlock. So we are going to see what are the reason because of which deadlock occurs in our computers and how to come out of it. Okay. Well, bookish definition just for your understanding. So permanent blocking. See, this word is very important. Permanent blocking of some set of processes that either compete for each other or competing for some system resources. The meaning of it is these processes are waiting for each other for some resources, for some messages, or they are waiting for system resources. And that resources are not free. So they are trying to communicate each other, but nobody is able to release the resources, and that may cause a permanent blocking. And this is called as deadlock. Okay, I'll show you with some diagrams so it will be more clear to you. And when this situation comes in picture, when you are using concurrent processes. Concurrent means processes running simultaneously on time sharing basis. So that is your multi-programming and multitasking. There is no efficient solution available for this problem. But yes, there are some feasible solutions that we can discuss in future in upcoming slides. Okay. All deadlock involves conflicting needs. Okay. Every process needs some resources to complete its execution. Right. Processor is also a resource. Then your memory is also a resource. Files are also a resource. Printers, keyboard, all are the resources. So conflicting needs are the reason for causing the deadlocks. So if two or more processes are waiting for similar kind of resources, and then there is a possibility of deadlock or must be a deadlock in a system. So we are going to see how we can identify there is a deadlock or not with some algorithms. I'll tell you in future. But before moving ahead, you should know what are the types of resources you have. So machine supports two type of resources, reusable and consumable. Name itself suggests what is the meaning of reusable and what is the meaning of consumable, right? So reusable means what? You can avail the resource, use it and release it so that it can be used by other processes. Examples you can guess easily. So safely we can use means these reusable resources are used by one of the process at a time and it can be released. So we can say it's not exhausted. If I'm using some resource, it will not get exhausted. Like printer, I'm printing document. So printer is not going to exhaust. I can reuse. But yes, ribbon within that printer may get exhausted. बार बार printing कर रहे हो कहीं तो जाके ink खत्म होगा, right? So that is consumable. But आपका printer खत्म हो जाता है क्या? No, it's there. It's a physical resource which we can reuse after adding new ribbon in it, new ink in it. So processes can obtain such a resources once it is released by the process who is using it. So reusability is there. That's why we call it reusable resources. So the example is, and so you can directly guess like memory is also a reusable resource. Processor is reusable resource. Your IO channels are reusable resources. All memory device, main memory, secondary memory, USB device, IO device, files, database. I'll come to this term semaphore in let's say 4 5 sessions, after 4 5 sessions. So right now just remember it's a hardware resource semaphore. It's a space available in memory only but treated as a special resource. So all these resources are uh, required or used by process one of the process. Once its use is over, they may release and can be reused by other processes. That's why they are categorized as reusable. Okay. Deadlock is possible if each process hold one resource and requesting the other. For example, process P1 is holding CPU. Okay. So CPU is busy, but it is demanding, let's say, some memory instance, which is not free right now. So it is availing CPU and waiting for memory, which is already occupied by some other process, let's say P2. और P2 भी wait कर रहा है CPU के लिए. So this is what the situation of deadlock is. Arrows are like this actually. I'll tell you about this graph in next 2 slides. Don't worry. So assume one of the process is available with one of the resource available with a process and it is requesting some other resources. So this is a situation where deadlock may occur. Okay. So let's take this example. There is a process P and another process Q. Both are running simultaneously. So both are concurrent to each other. Simultaneous execution means concurrent. Okay. Now when we are executing process P, it has some set of statements or set of actions. Okay. So this first block is showing that. So first step P0 is it is requesting the resource D. D stands for disk. Okay. And T stands for tape drive. Assume it. Both are memory resources. So process P1 generate a request for D, that is disk. As soon as request is granted, it will put a lock. Lock means this disk is availed by me. No one should use it unless and until I am going to free it. Okay. So if request is granted, that resource is allocated to process P1. So who is holding the lock on that resource? Process P. So जब तक process P lock release नहीं करेगा, D is not possible to be shared with other processes. तो Q उसको use नहीं कर पाएगा. Same with tape drive. It can request means step 3 may request कर रहा है tape drive. If it is allocated, lock will be added on it. And then some task will be performed on it, means using tape drive and using disk drive, some actions will be taken, calculations may be done. Once the use is over, both the resources are unlocked. Unlock means free to use by other resources. Same way, if you look at process Q, It requests tape drive. If granted, put a lock on it. Then generate request for D, put a lock on it. If both the resources are there, then only Q can perform some calculations functions. Once use is over, it will release the resources. So what if we allow concurrency, means you are running these programs simultaneously on time sharing basis. Okay. So when you are using time sharing basis, not necessary all the steps of P get completed at the same time. Partial execution, then you will switch the control to Q. On some execution, you will switch the control to P. If only these two processes are shared. Okay. So let's understand. Suppose you are giving process P1 has started the execution and it has performed process P0 step. It has generated a request for allocation of resource D, disk. So right now, suppose disk is free. Okay. D and T, both the resources are free. So as soon as request generated by process P0 step execute हुआ, D is allocated to P. So D is blocked now. It is not available to use. Lock put up कर दिया. P0, P1 executed. What it indicate? D is allocated to process P and now it has locked by P. Locked means no other process can use unless you are going to unlock it. And then after control switch, time sharing आया. So you have switched control to process Q. Q has started its execution. So first step Q0 क्या कर रहा है? It requests the resource T. T तो free है आपके पास. So Q0 will put a lock on T after executing Q1. So now if I show you what we have done. So this green color indicate these two steps of P has executed. These two steps of Q has executed. So resource D is available with process P and resource T is available with process Q. दोनों के एक एक ही इंस्टेंस है, एक ही डिस्क है, एक ही टेप ड्राइव है आपके पास. So what if you are calling process P with a step P2? What P2 is doing? It is demanding resource T which is right now not available. वो तो आपके process Q के पास. So as you are stuck here, you will give a control to Q. Q क्या कर रहा है? On step Q2, it demands disk which is already available with process P. So we cannot use it. So this is the situation. P2 is waiting for Q. Q is waiting for P. So control switch होते रहेगा but work progress होगा ही नहीं. Because both are waiting for each other. And resources है ही नहीं extra आपके पास. So this is the situation where deadlock occurred. समझ में आ रहा है कुछ? Till now any query from your side? Feel free to share. Okay. So I hope this sequence has conveyed how the deadlock is possible in a concurrent systems. Okay. With a reusable resources, your disk and tape drive are reusable. Once use is over, P can free it, Q can free it, and we can reuse them. Consume नहीं होता है वो. Second category of resources is consumable. Consumable means you will create a resource, use it and destroy it. वो reuse नहीं होता है, consume होता है. So resources are created, used and destroyed. Consume हो जाता है. You won't have that. So examples are some interrupts, signals, messages, some information available in IO buffers. So something which is available in buffers, once you destroy buffers, it is not regenerated. That's why complete consumable resources there. Okay. So here also there is a possibility of deadlock. Suppose you have two processes. They are sending some exchanging messages between them. Okay. And if the situation is we are going to block it on receive, so there is a possibility of deadlock. So I'll clear the statement with an example. So go through this example. There is a process P1 and P2. Both are running concurrently, simultaneously. Okay. So if you look at the sequence of statements, what it means that dot dot is some other statement which is independently executed. Dot dot indicates some statement which are not of our interest. But see here, receive P2 means what? Process P1. At this stage, process P1 is waiting for some message coming from process P2. Receive. I'm so sorry. So process P2 is should send some message, and when it is received at P1, then only P1 will send some another message. Try to understand the sequence, okay? P1 आपका वेट कर रहा है some मैसेज के लिए जो P2 से आने वाला है. Now look at the process P2. P2 का भी same sequence है. It is waiting for message generated by P1. जब तक वो मैसेज नहीं मिलेगा वो P1 को मैसेज भेजेगा ही नहीं. So what is happening here? P1 is waiting for P2, P2 is waiting for P1. दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए वेट कर रहे हैं to receive a message. बट मैसेज सेंड हो ही नहीं रहा है क्योंकि रिसीव पे ब्लॉक करके रखा है हमने. जब तक रिसीव नहीं होगा सेंड ही नहीं कर सकते. एंड दिस इज व्हाट द सिचुएशन ऑफ डेडलॉक अगेन. सो हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस सिचुएशन? उसके लिए मेथड्स है. वी हैव टू ब्लॉक वन ऑफ द प्रोसेस सो एंड चेंज द सीक्वेंस ऑफ स्टेटमेंट. सेंड को ऊपर लेना पड़ेगा. सो देर आर डिफरेंट मेथड्स बाय विच वी कैन come out of the situation. So right now just try to understand what is the meaning of deadlock, what are the types of resources, and with that resources how deadlock can be occur in a system. Okay. So have you understood how the message exchange of message can block the processes and lead to deadlock? Have you understood this concept? Yes or no?
Ma'am,
Huh.
ma'am, but the relationship with consumable resource, I didn't get it. Like, how is it related to that?
It is a software, means consumable resource means it is some software part, means you are creating some variable. Okay, so that variable's lifetime is till the process is in execution. वो variable execute हो process खत्म हो जाने के बाद मिलता है क्या आपको data from that variable?
No, ma'am.
हाँ. So when I say buffer IO buffers are also some memory space which is created for that process, and जैसे ही process खत्म होता है वो destroy हो जाता है. Same like pointers, right? We free the memory, so that is not available in future. So these kind of resources are called as consumable resources. मतलब वो variable उसको use करके destroy कर रहा है. If we are using some files, अगर हमने फाइल क्रिएट की एंड बाद में उसको डिलीट कर दिया तो इट इज कंज्यूम, नॉट अवेलेबल इन फ्यूचर. वो दूसरी प्रोसेस के पास तभी रहेगा जब वो परसिस्ट रहेगा. राइट? समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. So when I'm saying here message, this message M1 and M2, these two messages are again a variable, maybe created as a set of characters, array of characters. And now once they are exchanged, जैसे आप उनको भेज दोगे and their use means P1 ने उसको रीड किया, P2 ने उसको रीड किया, डिस्प्ले कर दिया एंड यूजर को, उसका काम खत्म. सो इट कैन बी डिस्ट्रॉयड. तो वो आपके नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर प्रोसेस के लिए अवेलेबल नहीं रहेगा. सो कंज्यूम हो गया. गॉट द मीनिंग?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, how to identify the deadlock, whether possibility of deadlock is there or deadlock exists in your system. So graphical representation is always a better method to understand it. So for that purpose, we can use resource allocation graphs. So these graphs are actually directed graphs, means all the edges are having directions. So that describes whether the resource is allocated to a process or demanded by a process. Okay, direction of your arrow will decide process resource is allocated or demanded. Okay, and this graph will describes, or you can say depict, the state of a system, whether the system is in deadlock, safe state or unsafe state, based on the combination of these processes and resources. So it is a graphical representation of your processes and resources and their allocations. And that graph will help us to identify whether deadlock is there or not. So how to draw this graph? So your graph, you are well aware now, your graph will have vertices and edges. So V is a set of vertices and E is a set of edges. Okay. So when we talk about the set of vertices, they are divided in two types. आपके ग्राफ में दो टाइप के वर्टाइसेस वर्टेक्स हो सकते हैं. One is process, other is resource. Okay. So means V is a combination, means set of vertices is a combination of set of processes and set of resources. So set of process, P is a set of processes, P1, P2, Pn, n number of processes. So all are running in a system. All the processes P1 to Pn who are running in a system. And R is a set of resources available with that system. Okay. So n number of resource, एक ही टाइप का रिसोर्स होता है क्या आपके सिस्टम में? No. So it is a type of resource. R1, R2, Rm means printer, scanners, mouse, memory, IO devices, IO channels. These are the types of resources. Disk drives, USB drives. So all these are the resources. Okay. So they are categorized as a R1, R2, Rm. So R represents set of resources, P represents set of processes, and both together forms a set of vertices. Okay. Similarly, age. Your ages are also divided in two parts, means based on their direction. Okay. One is a request age, other is a assignment age. Request means directed age from process to resource. Look at here. अगर आपका arrow age is directing towards the resource, start from process and directing towards the resource means your process is generating request for that resource. आपके प्रोसेस को वो रिसोर्स चाहिए, you are requesting that resource. And assignment age और allocation age means what? रिसोर्स से आपके प्रोसेस की तरफ जा रहा है. योर एरो इज फ्रॉम रिसोर्स टू प्रोसेस. So this particular resource is allocated to this particular process. समझ में आ रहा है? Look at the diagram here. If my age is from process P1, so now just for understanding, processes are shown in a circle, resources are shown in a squares. Okay. So P1 से एज आपका रिसोर्स की तरफ जा रहा है, मीन्स वी आर जनरेटिंग अ रिक्वेस्ट, प्रोसेस P1 रिक्वेस्टिंग रिसोर्स RA. If your arrow is opposite, RA directing towards process means what? RA is the resource already allocated to your P1 or already assigned to your process P1. Got the idea? For more
Yes, ma'am.
understanding? Huh. So now just remember, processes are shown in a circle. Okay. Resources are shown in a squares. But उसमें भी difference है. Your square means is a type of resource. But आपका ऐसा है क्या कि like one machine is connected to only one printer. Is it the case? No. Your machine can be connected to more than one printers. So here what it indicates, suppose my resource RA is representing printer and this within this square box जो छोटे छोटे चार dots दिख रहे हैं, what does it indicate? I am having 4 printers with me. Okay. Printer P1, P2, P3, P4 हो सकता है. So RA is representing resource type as a printer and how many instances we are having? 4. So within that square box आपको solid या hollow dots देने that represent how many instances of that resources are available with you. I hope this is clear to you. थोड़ा confusing है but try to understand. And then you have requesting age from P1 to RJ. So process PI is requesting resource instance of resource RJ. RJ type का resource का instance चाहिए उसे, एक दो जो भी है. So this is how the graphically it will look like. P1 arrow directing towards RJ. Vice versa, PI is holding some instance of the resource RJ. So arrow will be opposite. From resource to process आ जाएगा आपका arrow. Clear the idea? And with this knowledge, we can draw the resource allocation graph for any situation available in our system. Some examples are given here. Look at this diagram carefully and try to understand. So how many circles you can see in a diagram? 3. So that represent there are 3 processes P1, P2, P3 running in a system. Okay, how many type of resources you have? R1, R2, R3, R4. R1 सपोज आपका प्रिंटर है, R3 आपका सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज है, हार्ड डिस्क है, R2 आपका लेट्स से स्कैनर्स है, 2 स्कैनर्स यू हैव, R4 आपका USB डिवाइस है, जो भी है 3 इंस्टेंसेस है. So R1 is a type of printer. So we are having only one printer with a system. Single dot है आपके square में. अभी वो rectangular लग रहा है but मैं assume it. So single dot represent you have only one printer. Single dot of secondary disk means you have only one hard disk. 2 dots of R2 means you have 2 scanners. 3 dots of R4 means you have 3 USB devices. Okay. Now look at the arrows. P1 arrow directed towards R1. So can you tell me what is the meaning of it? P1 towards the R1. I'm talking about this arrow. What it is? Request है या assignment है? Process.
P1 requesting for printer.
Exactly, it is a request. Now look at here. R1 directed towards P2. So it is allocated. So आप उसको allocation बोल सकते हो. So जो सिंगल इंस्टेंस है R1 का वो P2 ने होल्ड करके रखा है एंड P1 उसको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा है. At the same time, P2 is requesting for R3. हार्ड डिस्क का एक्सेस चाहिए उसको. So it is again a request. Then R3 हार्ड डिस्क ऑलरेडी आपकी यूज में है by P3. Okay. Similarly, there are two instances of R2. Scanner दो है. One is allocated to P1 and other is allocated to P2. And R4 is not yet utilized. So just identify, is there any deadlock here? P1 is waiting for P2, P2 is waiting for P3, P3 किसी पे dependent नहीं है, right? So somewhere P3 will finish execution. P3 is not waiting for any other resource. Look at here. So somewhere after some time P3 will finish. P3 जब खत्म होगा आपका R3 resource free हो जाएगा. That you can allocate to P2. So P2 की सारी need satisfy हो रहे, P2 भी कहीं तो जाके खत्म होगा. Automatically its resources released which we can allocate to P1 and somewhere P1 get finished. So all three processes get completed after some time span, means there is no deadlock. This is not a deadlock situation. Got it? How we can predict from resource allocation graph? Or do you have any query? Everyone understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Graph and tell me. Spare a minute and tell me, is there any possibility of deadlock? So yes, there is a deadlock. Look at here. P1 waiting for resource R1, which is available with P2. P2 is waiting for R3, which is allocated to P3. P3 is waiting for R2, which is allocated to P1 and P2. So everybody is waiting for each other. और कोई compromise नहीं करेगा, so automatically all three processes are waiting for each other. So there is a deadlock in this system. So आपको either forcibly किसी process को terminate करके resources release करने होंगे, then only other two can proceed. Okay, so this is what the situation of deadlock is. Cycle है यहाँ पे. If you look at here, there is a cycle. And जब भी cycle होता है, usually deadlock की possibility होती है. Cyclic graph you can say. So look at here. Cycle है but deadlock नहीं है. तो आप बोलोगे कैसे? So I'll tell you that. See here, P1 is waiting for R1. R1 is having two instances. So one is allocated to P2 and another is with P3. P3 is waiting for R2. Again, it is having two instances. One is with P4 and other with P1. Now suppose we have to predict deadlock है कि नहीं. So cycle तो है but you cannot say deadlock है by default. Look at the other possibilities. My P2 and P4 are not dependent on other processes. They are not waiting for others. So it means somewhere P2 can finish, somewhere P4 can finish. जैसे ही वो फिनिश होंगे उनके जो इंस्टेंसेस है रिसोर्स के दैट कैन बी रिलीज्ड. So if your P2 is releasing R1 which we can allocate to P3, तो P3 खत्म हो सकता है अगर P4 ने भी उसका इंस्टेंस छोड़ दिया. P3 खत्म हो रहा है तो आपका P1 भी खत्म हो सकता है. So though there is a cycle, deadlock is not exist because some resources are with some other processes which are not dependent on other processes. So they are independently executed and they can release the resources in future, which we can reuse for P1 and P3. Clear the idea? So cycle says there is a possibility of deadlock, but just look at the diagram and you can identify possibility आपकी deadlock की है, but deadlock occur होगा ही या नहीं. You can take the decision. Okay. And one more diagram is there, but here facts I have added. Graph is not having any cycle means no deadlock. कोई cycle नहीं तो by default deadlock होगा ही नहीं. But if your graph is having some cycle and there is only one instance per resource, look at here. N number of type of resources you have and for each type you have only one instance. एक ही resource available है. So there is a deadlock. Graph में cycle भी है और आपके पास single instance है. 101% sure there is a deadlock. If you are having several instances which are allocated to some processes which we can release in future, then there is a possibility. Possibility है, occur होगा या नहीं, that will be identified in future. But cycle है and आपके पास single resource है, sure there is a deadlock. So for that, okay, there is no further diagram. Now, what are the conditions for deadlock? Your resource allocation graph is helping you to predict the deadlock exists or not. Okay, give me a minute. Sorry. So there is a situation of deadlock, but there are some conditions. If that conditions are satisfied, there possibility of deadlock again. So there are 4 necessary conditions. This is a, now you can put a note in your notebook. Most asked question in your oral examination. What are the necessary conditions of deadlock? So there are 4 necessary conditions for deadlock. One is mutual exclusion. Second is hold and wait. Third is no preemption. And fourth one is circular wait. I'll tell you what is that. So mutual exclusion means what? If you have some resource, so only one process can use that resource at a time. No other process can use that resource unless it is released by that previous process. So mutually exclusive. आपके पास जो भी वो आप ही यूज कर सकते हो जब तक आप खुद से किसी को नहीं देते. That is a mutual exclusion. Okay. So only one process can use a resource at a time. No other process can interrupt. No other process get access to it. This is called as mutual exclusion. Let's take an example of file. Suppose you have a file. F1 है आपके file का नाम. Process P1 is writing something. Let me erase that. Okay, so you have a process P1 which is writing something. Now don't take this arrow as a request arrow. Huh? P1 is writing something to your file F1. ठीक है? So this file 1 is your resource. When you are writing to your file, can you tell me multiple process can write at the same time to same file? Logically correct होगा क्या? Think and tell
No,
me.
ma'am.
Why? What will happen?
It will be a mess in file. Like there will be multiple sentences, and then there is no use of that
Exactly.
data.
So data integrity will be destroyed over there. आपका जो data है उसका integrity जो चाहिए वो मिलेगा ही नहीं आपको. So that is what the reason is. We cannot allow file 1 to write by multiple, means multiple process can write multiple things at the same time. That is not allowed. So if P1 is writing, we have to block it for other processes. So this is what mutual exclusion. समझ में आया? Resource is used by only one process at a time, other should wait unless P1 will release it. Reading कर सकते हैं क्या simultaneously? Can we read files F1 at the same time by multiple processes? Yes, no harm in reading. क्योंकि अब जब डेटा रीड कर रहे हो, सेम डेटा विल बी read by multiple files. बट जब आप राइट कर रहे हो तब कोई और रीड नहीं कर सकता है, रीड भी नहीं और राइट भी नहीं. रीजन इज आप जो राइट कर रहे हो वही रीड होगा, इसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है. सो दैट्स द रीजन वी हैव टू ब्लॉक इट. So this is the way how we are using mutually exclusive use of that resource. Clear the condition? Mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion का meaning समझ में आया सबको? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now why this will lead to deadlock? Can you imagine? Mutual exclusion is a must requirement. Critical situation में हमें resource mutually exclusive way से ही use करने. Only one can use at a time. This may lead to deadlock. क्यों? Because when P1 is using F1, P2 is requesting F1. P1 उसको release कर ही नहीं रहा है, P2 उसको use कर नहीं पाएगा and they will reach to deadlock. Got it? Why it is a condition, necessary condition for deadlock? अगर हम resources mutually exclusive way से use करेंगे, so definitely there is a possibility of deadlock. क्योंकि multiple process can wait for it, which is already occupied by some other process. वैसे ही आपका second condition है hold and wait. So वही किया हमने अभी. P1 is holding F1 and requesting some other resource. P1 ने hold करके रखा है आपका resource F1 file write करने के लिए. And at the same time it is generating a request. I'll just change the arrow direction now, तो आपको confusion होगा. F1 is allocated to P1 for writing purpose, and P1 is requesting some other resource, suppose F2, so another file के लिए wait कर रहा है, and F2 is already allocated to P2, okay, and P2 is demanding F1. So what is happening? Can you imagine? P1 is holding F1 and waiting for F2. P2 is holding F2 and waiting for F1. गया ना वो deadlock में. Getting what I am trying to say? Hold and wait is a way to allow the partial execution of a process, but that may reach to a deadlock if they are waiting for each other. One process can hold some resources and at the same time requesting some other resources. वो किसी और के पास हो सकते हैं. So hold and wait is also a situation where deadlock is possible. Got the meaning of these two conditions? Yes or no? Guys, have you understood meaning of this? Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the last point? Hold and wait.
Hold and wait means what? One of the process is holding some resources. Suppose your P1 needs 2 resources for execution. उसका execution खत्म करने के लिए उसको 2 resources चाहिए. कौन से 2 चाहिए? F1 and F2. दोनों फाइल ही है बट अलग अलग है, उसको ये दोनों चाहिए. सो नाउ सिचुएशन कैसी है कि F1 तो उसको मिल गया, P1 को allocate हो गया, एंड F2 जो है वो P2 के पास है. ओके, एंड व्हाट द P1 इज डूइंग, P1 को भी F2 चाहिए, P2 को F1 चाहिए. So P1 is holding resource F1 and waiting, demanding for F2. Waiting for F2. समझ में आ रहा है? Process is holding F1 resource and waiting for F2 resource, which is already with P2 other process. So that leads to deadlock. Hold and wait means what? कुछ पकड़ के रखा है और आप किसी और के लिए वेट कर रहे हो. आप छोड़ भी नहीं रहे हो और वेट भी कर रहे हो. So that automatically leads to deadlock sometime. Got the idea?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप आपके बाइक पे बैठे हो, ब्रेक छोड़ भी नहीं रहे हो और आपको बाइक राइड भी करनी है. पॉसिबल है क्या?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
हाँ. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन. सो अगर आपको डेडलॉक से बाहर आना है तो ये कंडीशन ब्रेक करनी पड़ेगी. P1 या P2 को कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ेगा. अगर P2 कॉम्प्रोमाइज करेगा तो F2 को छोड़ देगा, विच वी कैन एलोकेट टू P1, P1 भी खत्म हो जाएगा एंड वी रीस्टार्ट P2 जो फ्यूचर में एग्जीक्यूट होगा। हम वो बाद में देखेंगे हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस सिचुएशंस। अभी सिर्फ समझ के लो कि ये जो कंडीशन है उसकी वजह से डेडलॉक कैसे पॉसिबल हो सकते हैं। सो होल्ड एंड वेट इज अ फैसिलिटी गिवन बाय योर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कि मेरे पास सारे रिसोर्स नहीं है बट पार्शियल रिसोर्स से मेरा काम चल रहा है तो आई कैन स्टार्ट execution and I should wait for pending resources. So hold and wait is a facility, but उस facility का नतीजा क्या हो सकता है? डेडलॉक में जा सकते हो इन फ्यूचर, हर बार जाओगे ऐसा नहीं है बट इन फ्यूचर जा सकते हो। सेम वे म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन एक फैसिलिटी है कि अगर मुझे कोई क्रिटिकल टास्क करना है तो उस पे मेरा ही कंट्रोल रहेगा, अदर शुड नॉट एंटर इन दैट एरिया जब तक मेरा काम खत्म नहीं होता है। तो एक फैसिलिटी है बट उसकी वजह से भी डेडलॉक पॉसिबल है। वैसे ही थर्ड कंडीशन है आपकी नो प्रीएम्पशन। कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ प्रीएम्पशन? वी लर्नड इट इन fourth unit, preemptive and non preemptive scheduling. So what is the meaning of preemption? कोई बताएगा?
Ma'am, if any higher means if any higher the
हाँ बोलो, हायर क्या?
मैम कैन आई?
कौन था पहले, कौन बात कर रहा था? आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी योर नेम्स ऑन माय स्क्रीन, व्हाट हैपेंड? बोलो, आप ट्राई करो, कोशिश करो, बोलना चाहिए। अभी आप थर्ड ईयर में हो, आगे नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर में आपका प्लेसमेंट शुरू होगा, यू शुड बी एबल टू स्पीक। कैन यू हियर मी? कौन था, आपका नाम बताइए। ओके शुभम, गो अहेड।
Preemption means we can interrupt the task in the middle of the process. Like process A1 is executing by CPU. The CPU can stop that process and switch to the next one.
Exactly. Is there any lag from my side?
No, ma'am, it is from my side.
Okay, no problem. I'm just checking. Right. Preemption means in terms of process, whatever message given by Shubham, that's correct. But preemption means what? आप कोई भी टास्क कर रहे हो और आपको कोई भी बीच में आके रोक रहा है, so that is a preemption. और आप रुक रहे हो, that is a preemption. But आप किसी को allow नहीं करेंगे, so that is not preemptive nature. Suppose I am taking lecture right now. So I am dedicated for lecture. Nobody can interrupt me. कोई भी आके मुझे preempt नहीं कर सकता है. And if they are trying, I cannot allow them. That is my non-preemptive nature. Okay. So this is what no preemption. No resource can be forcibly terminated or forcibly removed from a process holding it. No one can forcibly ask me to stop the lecture and go ahead with them for some other reason. So that is what my no preemptive nature. I'm not allowing them to terminate or stop from taking the lecture during this hour. So same way, we cannot allow other processes to preempt, means we cannot forcibly remove the resource. Suppose process P1 के पास आपने फाइल दे के रखी, F1 में वो कुछ राइट कर रहा है, ओके F1 में वो कुछ राइट कर रहा है, वो एलोकेटेड है P1 को, एंड सपोज P2 इज डिमांडिंग सेम F1 को ही डिमांड कर रहा है. So no preemption means what? Your means your system higher authority or no other higher authority processes can ask P1 to terminate it. छोड़ दो इसको so that P2 can use it. वो priority नहीं है. That is what no preemptive nature. अगर हम इसको हटा देंगे preemption हो जाएगा. Anyone can stop the other processes and allocate the resource to other process. बट नो प्रीएम्प्टिव नेचर की वजह से भी डेडलॉक में जा सकते हो. P1 को अलाउड ही नहीं है कि वो उसका काम खत्म होने तक फाइल छोड़ दे, राइट? P1 is not allowed to release the file unless it has finished its execution, its use. And we cannot allow to P2. So this is what non-preemptive nature. And because of this, we may reach to deadlock. Because we are not allowing to preempt. P2 cannot reuse and they may lead to deadlock in future. And same with fourth condition is circular wait. So n number of two or more processes are waiting for each other in a chain. एक दूसरे के लिए continuously wait कर रहे हैं. So closed chain of processes exist in such a way that each process is holding at least one resource. हर एक के पास एक resource है and they are demanding the resource available with next one. If you want to understand with diagram, suppose P1 is having one resource. Let's say उसके पास F2 है already allocated, but it is waiting for a resource F1 which is allocated to P2. Okay, P2 is waiting for F3 which is just a minute. F3 resource तो वो square में जाना चाहिए, which is already occupied by P3 and P3 is waiting for F2. So ये हो गया आपका circular wait. P1 waiting for F1, F1 is with P2, P2 waiting for F3 which is with P3, P3 waiting for F2 which is with P1. So this is called as circular wait. So process is holding some resource and demanding the resource of next process. Try to understand, it is demanding the resource which is available with next process. P2 का भी next P3 के पास है, P3 का next P1 है. So this is called as circular wait. And if you look at here, एक एक ही instance है हर एक file का, तो definitely there is a deadlock. So these all four conditions create a possibility of deadlock. Actually first three, fourth तो हमेशा देगा आपको deadlock. So try to understand this circular wait with resource allocation graph. I have already plotted in previous slide, but here more clear diagram. P1, see here, P1 is requesting for RA resource. RA type का instance एक ही है आपके पास. RA is a type of resource which is having single instance, which is already occupied by P2, allocated to P2. P2 is requesting resource type RB, which is again having single instance, which is held by P1. All are waiting for each other, so it is a circular wait. And there is a deadlock. Circular wait है and deadlock भी है. Deadlock क्यों है? क्योंकि single instance है. If you are having multiple instances, second diagram में जाओ अभी, second partition में. RA is having 3 instances, RB is having 2 instances. So even though they are waiting in a circular manner, cycle है, but deadlock नहीं है because multiple instance available है. So we can allocate them as per need. If you go with more complex diagram, multiple processes, see here. RA is allocated to P1. P1 is waiting for RB, which is with P2. P2 waiting for RC, which is with P3. It is waiting for RD, which is with P4. And P4 RA के लिए wait कर रहा है. So this is a circular wait with deadlock. Circular wait with deadlock. Okay. So fourth condition always leads you to deadlock. So when you are using mutual exclusion, no preemption, hold and wait, these facility, there is a possibility of deadlock. These three condition gives you, there is a possibility of deadlock in future. But fourth condition is added. अगर इन तीनों के साथ fourth circular wait add हो जाएगा, so you can say there is a deadlock in your system. It approves that system में deadlock है. First three conditions सिर्फ possibility create करता है, but last condition definitely there is a deadlock. Okay. So remember these four essential conditions and meaning of each. It is a very, very important oral question during the exam. Remember it. मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको ओरल क्वेश्चन बैंक शेयर किया है आपके टीम्स पे. So kindly go through it and start your preparations because आपकी एग्जाम ऑफलाइन हो सकती है. होगी, ऑफलाइन ही होगी. ओके, so now you have understood what is deadlock, what are the reason which causes deadlock, जैसे ये 4 conditions है, and if deadlock is there, how to handle it. That is the second part of this. So let me know up to this, have you understood? इसमें कुछ questions है? Okay, so we will see how to handle deadlock in next lecture. I'll just tell you what are the methods. Detail में हम next lecture में पढ़ेंगे. So when there is a deadlock, you need to handle them. So there are two ways, basically total 4 ways है. Prevention, avoidance, detection, correction. There are 4 ways to handle the deadlock. Okay. Prevention और avoidance में क्या है कि don't allow your system to lead to a deadlock. Ensure that system will never reach to deadlock state. आपको हमेशा यही केयर लेनी कि आपकी सिस्टम डेडलॉक में जानी ही नहीं चाहिए. दैट इज व्हाट प्रिवेंशन एंड अवॉइडेंस. प्रिकॉशन ले रहे हो आप कि कोरोना होना ही नहीं चाहिए. देन डिटेक्शन एंड रिकवरी. यू आर अलाउिंग कर, ठीक है, आई एम नॉट टेकिंग केयर, आई एम नॉट गोइंग पुट अ मास्क एंड ऑल दो स्टफ. सो कोविड हो सकता है, राइट. सो कोविड हुआ तो उसको डिटेक्ट करो, रिकवरी करो, करेक्शंस करो, मेडिसिन लो. So allow your system to enter a deadlock, and if deadlock found, recover it. So these are the 4 ways by which we can handle the deadlock. First of all, take the precaution कि होना ही नहीं चाहिए. If happens, we cannot do anything. हो गया है, so we have to take proper care so that we can recover from that deadlock state. Step by step recovery होती है. So we will see all the algorithms used in this prevention, avoidance, detection and correction in our next lecture. So let me know if you have any questions right now. Important algorithm तो यहाँ पे ही आपके prevention and avoidance में. So next lecture is important क्योंकि numericals होंगे. How to recover from deadlock के लिए. How to avoid the deadlock actually.